or not, and welcome to my channel. My name is Stefania if you are new here. So today we're going to be doing a product updates video. So I find these to be very useful. This is stuff that I've had for some of it for months that you guys have probably seen me do, you know, a review on or a first impression on, and this is just coming back to let you know, like, what are the things I really like, what are the things that, like, I kind of regret and I would pass on. So just to, I've collected my thoughts on these all together. I have a few items from the Sephora VIB, but a lot of them are from different brands like Jaclyn Cosmetics, Glow by Auric, just kind of a mix, Fenty, but I still have some stuff in my Sephora haul that I haven't like completely made up my mind on. So we'll definitely do another one if you guys like these types of videos. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this. Please feel free to subscribe down below. It would really help me out. Hit that like button and let's go ahead and get in. Okay, so let's start on a high note. I have decided it's Friday. But this Hindash Beautopsy palette is definitely one of my favorite palettes that have come out, and I knew it was going to kind of be like that. Sometimes you look at palettes and you're like, I have that, I don't need it, you know, and then you get it and you're like, no, I'm so happy I got this. So this is what it looks like, and like I said, I do have a dedicated review on most of these products. But this is something I reach for all the time. It doesn't matter what I need, it's in here. So obviously, like, I go to my other palettes for shimmers and stuff like that. This is an all matte palette, but very easy to just be like, oh, I just need something to blend this color out, or I need a brow bone highlight, or I need this. Like, this is great to just do all those things with, or if I forgot something, or I'm just like, oh, I need to like powder under my eyes. Like, this has such a variety of things you can do with it, from my blush to my under eye to my contour, and because it's big enough like to fit a brush into is why I love it so much. Usually when, you know, I stopped doing that. I used to do that with eyeshadow palettes where I was like, look, you can use this as a blush shade or whatever, and what always bothered me was like, I can't fit this into it. So because I can fit my actual brushes into this, I find it to be way more functional than like your average palette that you could do that with. So I really like how customizable this is and how much you can shift the shades into each other. So that one is a win. I cannot wait until he comes out with more. Like I said, I would love it if he did a shimmer version of this or something like that. Yes. I feel very blushed. I put on the, I just did a review of the new like Pat McGrath blushes. And I will say, if you didn't watch that video, I didn't love them. But at the same time, I also like keep looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh, I'm blushed. Still see a lot of texture. But at the same time, like, I put this on at like 9 a.m. and it's now 5 p.m. and I didn't touch up my blush. And like, that's very rare. So speaking of blushes, let's get into a few. We have this Bare Minerals bronzer. This, I hate that name so much. It is not a bronzer, it is a blush. So I have the Kiss of Copper shade. I would probably pick up the Kiss of Pink shade as well. But this is what it looks like. I did talk about this. I don't like the packaging. I feel like the packaging really cheapens it. But the blush itself, this is one of those very intense blushes, and I'm not generally an intense blush person. They are starting to grow on me, I will say. I just need to look alive lately. So that is the Kiss of Copper shade. That's just the scar. I always get worried when I show that. I'm like, those aren't swatches, those are burns. But it is such a pretty shade. Let me go ahead and turn down the lighting for you guys so you guys can like truly see that. And it does look super scary, but on the cheeks, it's gorgeous. Like, I think if you were looking for a summer blush, like that would be it for sure. Especially if you're, and I've seen people with lighter skin tones also be able to pull that off. So don't be too scared of it type thing. And then let's go over Jaclyn Cosmetics. So I got two duos. I got the Warm Flush Golden Goddess and Stay Rosy Yummy Toffee. I regret these. Not crazy. I can make the darker one work. The shade range just wasn't that great, and I wanted there to be more variety between the blushes. But honestly, like I felt like there needed to be darker shades even for my skin tone. I have to really try to like build it up. So this is what they look like, and you can see just how similar they are. Like I just think she could have switched up the tones a little bit more. Like there was one that had like a really pretty pop of coral, but that was like the deepest shade type thing. So for me, I just need to learn more about like, I don't love face palettes. I like individual things more than I like face palettes. I just say that and I'm like, I just ordered the Carly Bible one. But hopefully that's fine. She did come out with 3, which I was like, usually there's only 2. I appreciated that. We'll see how it goes. But these, I just thought, I think what it is for Jaclyn, like it's not that the formula is bad or anything like that. I think I just expected more intensity. Like she always talks about blush. Like that's like her thing. And to me, I'm like, you have to really build these up. Like, and I should have known, like, even when she was using the shade that she was going to use, which was the Yummy Toffee one, that was when she would just have like a tan on. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, our skin tones don't match up, like, you know? So that should have been my warning sign. And the formula is fine. It's a nice baked formula. Yummy Toffee works for me. Yeah, they're just not my favorite. So those are the swatches. Like I said, obviously this second one works for me much better. And I will say, to get the color payoff, like if you bought these and you're like, I'm not reaching for them because they are sheer, if you use a denser brush, especially in the bronzer, it works much, much better. So it's not like it's not going to any use. I will reach for this one. I just shouldn't have gotten 2. So I won't say like I completely regret it, but I kind of do. Stand-up products from her though, if highlight-wise, if you are a big highlighting person, her highlights are amazing. I love all of them. I have no complaints. Other than the like very loose one, that's more like I think the mood highlighters. I don't use stuff like that. I have so many Hourglass products and I never reach for them. I don't know why, but they're just not my favorite. But these ones, like, they're amazing. So I would highly, highly recommend you check out her highlighters. I didn't get any of the single ones just because I have her highlighting palette. But if I were to go in again, like, that was a tap of my finger. But I would repurchase once I get more use out of the palette type thing. So I use this shade Extra. Obviously, this is not my skin tone shade, but this is my favorite inner corner highlight since I got this a year ago. So that is pretty much my inner corner highlight every day, which I realize I don't have any on, so I will show you guys what this looks like. And then I'm also going to use a actual face highlight to show you guys what that looks like in a second. Not from her, but from a different brand. So I'm just going to tap on. But this is something I reach for all the time, and I use such a little product that this will last me like 5 years, even though, you know, I'm just that type of girl, okay? My powder products, they're here to stay. So the shades, though, that like High Volt, Bomb is a gorgeous gold. This one, I'll swatch it for you. But I would say out of everything Jaclyn Cosmetics, this is by far my biggest like hit in terms of products. And this one is High Volt. So this one's definitely like more wearable on my actual face compared to this one. And then I really like the gold tone one, which I believe is called Bomb. Last of Jaclyn Cosmetics, we have the liquid lips and lip liners. So I got 3 liquid lipsticks and then I just got the 1 lip liner. The lip liners are superb. They are everything you want in a lip liner in terms of the staying power. They stay really well. I think the price point is definitely fair for what they are. I would pick up more. I'm going to kind of wait, you know. I'm just like remembering that it's Jaclyn Cosmetics now is sold at Ulta, and I'm like, I'd rather just wait for a holiday sale. These are her permanent products. But I would definitely pick up more lip liners for sure. I have Butter Pecan, and that is what I have on my lips right now. And it's like a brownie, but not. Like, it's like a brown mauvish type tone, but I really, really like it. And then on my lips right now, I have mixed in Be Brave and then Oh Hi. Oh Hi is definitely a shade where like you'd be like, that's gonna look horrible on my lips. I'm so glad I got Oh Hi because the shades they dry down a lot darker. I don't know why they look so much darker on me than her. You would think it'd be the opposite way around because she's paler, but it's not like that. So I don't like dark lips. I'm just someone who likes, unless I'm going for like a brown or like an actual color, like out, you know what I mean? But I'm not really like, I like my light pinks, my light peaches, like that's just the kind of gal I am. And these all dry down a lot darker than what they look like. I will say, part of me is like, I understand. And I'm like, can I go back to liquid lips was the question. Some days I like this because I go to work and I wear it and I don't have to worry about like reapplying. I work at a gym. I'm constantly drinking water. Like I hate that like mark on a glass type thing. I would much rather wear a gloss all day, but I just don't like to get that on my bottle. It just, ugh. Or like a wine glass. I just don't like it. So in that aspect, I like these again, and the whole mask wearing thing, they're useful in those terms. Am I gonna buy more? Probably not. Not because it's like they're a normal liquid lip. You know what I mean? So to me, they do feel a little bit drying. My cracks show through. Yeah, no. That's what I would say. They're like it's why we all stopped wearing them. You know? So that's how I feel about it. It's definitely not something I can't feel. I think liquid lips are just one of those categories where it's just, I'm gonna say the thing you're not supposed to say. Okay? No, I don't buy from Jeffree Star anymore. However, his liquid lipstick formula was like the best liquid lipstick formula. So I you know, like I said, I know I'm not supposed to say that, but it is true. Whereas these, I can feel them, and my lips just don't look their best. So to me, I would love it. I know it's a lot, but I wish she would come back with her bullet lipsticks. I felt like the range and tones were just so much better for what I prefer. So yeah, I really hope that she ends up like get back on that horse. You're doing great. Like, please come out with more. And like I said, it's just personal preference for these. It's not that I'm like, oh, I don't like them. They're liquid lipsticks, and I prefer non-liquid lipsticks. So Jaclyn Cosmetics, I would say if you're gonna buy something, go with the lip liners, go with the highlights, and I think that like that will steer you in the right direction in terms of like you being happy with your purchases. And two, I would love to know your guys' thoughts. Like, even if you disagree with me, please leave them down below. I'm always like super interested because I think everyone has different things. Next up, we have Glow by Auric, which is Samantha Ravndal's brand. I will say what's hard about the brand. I'm like, oh, congratulations, she just had her baby. And like, I feel like I really relate to her right now because of that. And like, you know, she's not an all rainbows person, and neither am I. But it's a little weird that like the brand came out months ago and yet there's been no restock. And I feel like even when she talks about it, it's just kind of like I'm gonna, like the excitement is gone type thing. I think for a lot of people where I'm just like, it's just been a long time. And yeah. So anyways, I bought one of these shades. Good and bad, right? I love this. I'm mad about this. This is the shade Temper. The cream product is actually really nice. I do wear it, but it's a little, it's a darker mauve. I thought like this is like the rose gold one, so I thought it was going to be a little bit brighter. But it's almost like a purple tone. So I'll swatch that for you guys. And the cream product I actually really like. It's definitely purple. So that's the cream product. The glitter that's supposed to be on top of it, I was just expecting so much because, like, you know, I love Sam. I watch all of, you know, I'm like, oh, I see the things she loves, and I'm like, that makes sense, you know? I'm like, I would make my own products off of that too. But I expected them to be better than what was on the market, or at least comparable, and I just don't feel that way, especially for a $39 pot. I just felt like I paid for, I don't know what I paid for. My Hourglass ones, my Tarte ones, like I just was expecting it to be on par with that. And this is the driest thing ever. And this was what I was most excited for. It was the topper. I just feel like the topper, I have to sit here and like really, really get in there. And then the payoff from it is just, it's just lackluster. Like that's it. That's your payoff. And I'm just like, did I just get a dud? Like what happened? But I'm not, I'm like, I feel like I threw away $39 essentially. So I'm not writing the brand off because like I said, this saved it. I love this. And this is what we're going to put on right now because I did not put on a highlight. I would buy a lighter shade of this. I got Pyrite, which Pyrite is perfect right now for my like skin tone. Like it's great to mix in. I will wear it that way. A lot of the time I will just wear it with no makeup. And it's a little bit thicker than the Charlotte Tilbury. I was never a huge fan of the Charlotte Tilbury. I just wasn't. Not that I wasn't a fan, I just didn't use it. This, I have made a conscious effort to use it, and I really like it. So, Pyrite is a good shade for me. It's definitely more of like a neutral tone. What I'm saying is that like I wanted one with maybe a little bit more of a pop for an actual highlight. But it is expensive. And I will say, I think it's, if you're going to use it all the time, let me do a swatch for you guys. Like I said, it's a very neutral tone, so it's not like that bright gold by any means. So if you're similar in skin tone, it just depends on what you want. But I want a brighter shade just to give myself more on the days where I'm just like, oh, I really want something. Like this goes perfectly when I'm not wearing makeup because it really just kind of gives my skin a really healthy glow that goes into my skin. When I have makeup on, I want it to be a little bit more intense and a little bit more of like a pop. So I will go up a shade, but I think that from the packaging to this product, I do like mixing it in. I like it more than my, like I said, it grew on me way more than my Charlotte Tilbury one. So in that aspect, I'm like, love. These, like I said, I think a lot of people were disappointed with this shade. Maybe the other ones are better. I feel burned and I'm not going to give it another chance right now. I will stick with the highlight. I have the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Brow Cheat. So I actually got the wrong one. I thought I was going to get the one that looked a lot like the Benefit Gimme Brow. And then I saw the shape of this at the Sephora gondola and I was like, oh yeah, that's it. And I grabbed it. And then I got home and I was looking online and I was like, oh, it's not. Like there's one that's way, way thicker. But it's still that tier, like that triangle shaped tip. So hopefully you guys can like kind of see that. But it's way thinner than the Goof Proof. Which if you're like me, the Goof Proof at first I really liked it. And then when I kind of got more into shaping my brows, it became like too big. So this is that perfect in between where it's not like your thinnest pencil ever, but I can really get in here and make like little tiny strokes. And it's very fast. The only worry I have is that it came with a refill. And obviously like how often are you, like I go through my brow pencils like every few months, but the refill didn't have a lid on it. They're just sold like that without a lid. And so I'm just worried that like I'm going to get to that point and like what if it dries out? So that's my only like thing where we'll see about, but I really, really, really like this pencil a lot. And I would say it's worth it. It's expensive, but I like the packaging. There's some things from Charlotte Tilbury where I'm just like, you know, and this stays on my brows very well. Like no complaints in terms of like the staying power. All right, last product I wanted to talk about. I feel like the sun keeps like coming in, even though my blinds are closed. I'm just like, where can I move? But this is the Fenty Powder Foundation in 260. I will say it is hard to find a shade. I wait till Fenty has websites to buy from Fenty now. I don't buy from Sephora anymore because, yeah, why pay that price? I feel the same way about Pat McGrath. When they have sales, they're usually better than 20% off the VIB. So I tend to wait it out most of the time when I can until almost I get like super excited about something and then I break down. But this is the shade 260. It looks way too light in the pan, but it's actually perfect for my skin tone. And this has become my favorite in terms of the Fenty. I think I mixed like a little bit of that highlighter with like the wrong finger type thing, because I was swatching all the different shades, but that's okay. I'm going to the movies, ain't no one gonna see me. Yeah, this blends right in, so you guys can't really see that at all. But it does give me a little bit more coverage when I want it. I would say that this is light to medium coverage, which is perfect for me, but it's not drying. I thought it was gonna be so drying because I was like, oh, I don't know about me and a powder foundation. I haven't used a powder foundation in a really, really long time. I have one more product to talk about. But anyways, I really like this. This has become my favorite Fenty complexion product. I just don't have the best of luck with her face products, even though I get so excited for them. Like I wasn't a huge fan of most of them because I feel like they dry out my skin. So this one has been my favorite. And what I like about it is I can also just use it to touch up my foundation throughout the day in case I need a little bit more coverage or in case I went a little too far. Like I use this as almost like a corrector. But it does layer very well and it doesn't cling to my dry patches as much as like I thought it was going to. Like you can get into that zone a little bit, but definitely not as much as like I thought. So out of all the Fenty foundations, this one has become my favorite. Lastly, a body product. I did want to update you guys. The only thing in that one Sephora haul that I was like, that I tried out, Kopari Rose shower oil. I didn't smell anything. And I was like, for my shower oils or shower gels, like my Bum Bum Cream ones, they smell amazing and they give me that experience in the shower that I'm just like, oh, that's amazing. But I just didn't like there was just nothing. So that one I did end up exchanging. I should have the Ren skincare one coming in, which I'm excited about. So one thing I did love though, I've been using this Moroccan body oil and you guys can tell like it's only been a month, not even. I am going through it, that's for sure. But if you love Moroccan body products or like hair products and you love the smell, the body oil is no different. It's very blendable, if you will, into your skin. It sinks in. I feel like it does a good job of hydrating, but I can also get dressed right away. I don't feel like it leaves like an oil residue. I have some that are thicker. Like I said, I'm obviously like super nervous about my skin right now where I'm just like oil everything. And my boobs have been itchy. Like it hasn't been fun. So anyways, I have been using this nonstop. I love the smell of it. And if you're looking for a good body oil, I would say this one's definitely worth it. I really, really enjoy this. And it has a sprayer, which I like. So it's really easy to use. Just spray after you get out of the shower and the smell is beautiful. So, but yeah, that is it for my updates. I hope that this was useful to you guys. Let me know if you've tried any of these products. What are your thoughts? Have you, if you love them, if you hated them, all that good stuff. I always love to know. And please hit that like if you want more of these types of videos. I find this to be very helpful. So I hope it helps you guys out. But yeah, please don't forget to subscribe. I would appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.